Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another full week of powerlifting. We are onto a new training cycle and we are in prep once more. We are competing at the end of June. And this training is going to be a bit different than last cycle. We have 5 days of training this time instead of 4, which is very exciting for me because my body handles volume a lot better with 5 times per week versus 4. I see a lot more progress this way, and I'm excited to bring you along on this next prep. So for day 1, we are squatting and benching and doing a couple of accessories. What we're working on right now is squats. We're doing competition style squats for 5 sets of 4. The last set of this squat is going to be an AMRAP. This means we are doing as many reps as possible, and we are working with 90% of my last tested max on squats. So this weight is 247.5 pounds here. I was feeling very, very strong here on this day. I was very, very stoked. I think I'm starting to actually enjoy squatting now that I'm getting better at it, which is very rare for me to say. I actually usually hate squatting more than anything. I usually dread it, but as of recently, this is the lift that gets me most excited in the gym, even kind of over bench, and bench is my thing. We go ahead and move on to my AMRAP for the final set of these squats, and I actually hit this for 5 reps. 247 pounds for 5 reps is, you know, it's not the best. There are definitely people way stronger than me, including my own clients, but I also keep in mind I don't train powerlifting full time. I actually run marathons, so that's a good old 20 plus miles of running in my alternative season. I don't really call it my off season because I have 2 different on and off seasons depending on the sport, but so it's very hard to progress when you're not focused, 100% on heavy lifting all the time. And when you're running marathons, when you're distance running, you physically cannot lift heavy 24/7 while also running large distances. And I haven't really run much at all since my knee injury. That is something that I am a little bit more nervous about, considering my knee injury did occur during marathon training. So it's something that I am taking a little bit more cautiously. At the end of this week, I actually did run a 5K. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to bench, and we are doing the same exact thing that we did for squats for bench on this day. So it is a 5x4 at 90%, with the last set being an AMRAP. That means we are working with 157.5 pounds. I was actually really stoked about this lift. Well, you can tell that I am struggling hardcore with this, but I'm doing it. And I'm freaking killing it. I was very stoked about this. When we get to the AMRAP, I was determined on this one to get more than 4 reps despite the struggle. I thought I had it in me. Brian took the bar from me. I was pretty sad that he took the bar. So that was it. Usually these main movements take me about an hour each, because not only am I hitting the working weight, I'm also warming up and resting for anywhere between 1 minute to 3 minutes for my warm-up sets. So it does take quite a bit of time. Even though it doesn't look like a lot of time on screen, I don't record my warm-ups. I can show you guys that if you're interested in how I warm up. I also have on sale on my website. It's not on sale, but I have it for sale on Flex Club. I think it's like $5, where you can buy my warm-up sheet. It's what I use to warm up. It's what I give my athletes to warm up as well. But if you want to utilize the warm-up sheet, if you're not sure how to warm up on the barbell, and it's just a warm-up calculator, it tells you exactly what to do, how long to rest. You can work with kilos or with pounds on that one. And then we move into accessories. So I only have 2 accessory movements on this day, and the reason for that is because these lifts are very taxing. I have the hip thrusts and I have cable glute pull-throughs, and those are my 2 accessories for the day. We have accessories today. I am mentally feeling so much better. Training, once you're in it, can help you with mental health, but like getting here is another story. I'm not sure if this was the outfit choice for upper body. This is a new top from Amazon, and it is my current new favorite top. Day 2 is an accessory day, and that is one of the new things in this cycle. I typically am used to having accessory days and main movement days. Last cycle, I didn't do that because we only trained 4 times per week, and I honestly really struggle with depression. So the less I can be in the gym and get results, that is what I'm gonna do. But I know I am most optimal when I have 5 times per week split. So right now I'm just kind of fighting through my depression and showing up because I have big goals, but trust me when I say it is so hard to train 5 times per week when I am struggling through depression like I am right now. That said, the accessory days are extremely easy to show up for on my low energy, very depressed, very anxious days. All they are is basically bodybuilding movements that really focus on my weak points and focus on the areas where I need the most volume for my training. We are starting off with dumbbell chest presses. The next movement we move into is the cable pail-off press. And all of the accessories, by the way, we're doing 3 by 8 to 12. We're focusing on double progressions. I do have a video explaining double progressions. So if you want to understand how I progress in weight and reps, go watch that video. I will link that video down below for you guys. But cable pail-off presses, they are great for anti-rotational movement, which is very important in powerlifting. It's also very important for functionality and being a functional human being. The goal here is to stabilize and not let the cable pull you out to the side. Then we're going to move on to dumbbell shoulder presses. Now, shoulders are my weak point. I have very weak shoulders, and so I'm working with relatively light weight here. If we can get those shoulders to be stronger, I can lift heavier weight. And then we move into lateral shoulder raises next. We are doing this for the same exact reason. We want to build up that shoulder strength. Then we move into MAG lat pull downs, and I love these. You don't see these in every single gym, but if they are at your gym, I would highly recommend trying them out. They basically get your body into a more natural position for lat pull down, so you get more activation in this position with the position that your wrists are in. I really love these, and they're one of my favorite movements right now actually for this day. And then the final thing that I do on this day is cable face pulls, and these really are just to work the rear delts and just to make sure that we're not putting too much focus on working the anterior, the front side of our body with our upper body. And that's something that a lot of people forget about. We need to keep the shoulders healthy to have strong lifts, and if we have one overactive muscle group overpowering the opposing muscle group, you're gonna actually have less force, and you'll actually decrease your strength and limit your strength in that way. This is also the reason why you may see people doing bicep curls in a program. Of course, bicep curls are not going to really directly help you with your strength, but indirectly it is very important to make sure you're working on balance. So day 3, we are back to squatting. We are doing high bar banded box squats. These are supposed to be to depth, but this gym does not have any other alternatives. What some people do and what you can do if there's a ton of extra plates, if you're in the same situation as me, you can just stack a bunch of 45-pound or 55-pound bumper plates and squat onto those. But obviously, if there are a lot of people in the gym, you can't really do that because you don't want to take equipment away from people. We are doing 4 by 8 at RPE 7.5. We worked up to 235. Is this two? It's either 230 or 235. My math is rough. Homegirl does not know math. In fact, when I'm looking at my notes right now, what I wrote was 45 plus 55. So there is a 45, there are 2 45s each side plus 10 pounds. I think that is 225. 35. Okay, no, that was 245. Wow, the math struggle there was pretty rough, but yes, that is how I math. That is how I track my weights, but as long as I know what I'm doing, that is all that matters. So we did 4 sets of 8 there, and the main focus of this movement right now for me is the volume. We're also focusing on being explosive against those bands, which is one of the benefits of using bands in squatting. We move on to accessories, and we have 4 different accessories for this day. First one is good mornings, barbell good mornings. Main thing here is just making sure that we're keeping our back nice and strong and pushing those hips back, very similar to a deadlift. We're keeping our feet at about shoulder width apart, so pretty narrow, pushing those hips back so that we can feel that stretch in those hamstrings. And then we move on to single leg B stance hip thrust. Now I do hip thrust twice in my program, 2 different variations with the same machine. And the reason for that is because I need a lot of glute volume. I actually have pretty weak glutes. The reason they are more single leg based on this day is because I have imbalances in the glutes. One side is stronger than the other. I'm actually doing B stance, and the reason for that is because homegirl is that weak that I just need that extra little assistance from the heel. I'm not really pushing up too much with the heel when I do these, but it's just there for support. And then we move on to single leg extensions for the exact same reason. I have imbalances in my legs that we're trying to correct, and the best way to do that is by working with single limb exercises. When you're doing single leg extensions, by the way, you may notice one foot pointing in while the other points out. Whenever you're doing these, try to get your toes pointing in the same direction. You actually do target different muscles when you do this, different parts of the quads. But for me right now, what I'm focusing on is having those toes pointing straight forward. A lot of times we forget that small movements and small changes in the position that your toes or your hands are with different movements can actually change where you're targeting, what muscles you're targeting. So be aware of that. So today is an accessory leg day. We love a good leg day. This is my absolute favorite part of the gym. My workout has not even started and my face is red. Just because you have a nice butt does not mean you know what you're doing, but it means I know what I'm doing. So juicy. Okay, that's all. Time to actually go do things. Brian's getting annoyed with me. All right, we are moving into day 4, which is a leg accessory day. And we're gonna start off with shark pit squats. Again, just the same as the upper body accessory day. We're doing 3 sets of 8 to 12, double progression style. I honestly hate these a lot. People love shark pit squats. I hate them. Is it good for you? Absolutely yes. It is a great movement, but I hate it. I still do it. Then we're gonna move into goblet squats, and these are a movement that I honestly incorporate pretty often when I'm prepping for a meet because they just do my body so dang good. Look how deep I get into these squats. A homegirl has that ATG squat and she is killing it. We are working with 90 pounds. Getting these up off the ground is honestly just a pain in the butt. I dread it more than the squat itself. But yeah, we're just focusing on staying deep. We're focusing on keeping that chest upright, keeping that core nice and tight, and going as deep as we can, exploding out of the hole. Next thing we move on to is walking lunges with a barbell over our back. I hate lunges. Plain and simple, I hate lunges. This is the second time I've incorporated them in my program since my knee injury. They don't hurt anymore, my knee. They just hurt my soul. Yeah, it's like cardio and weights all in one. And you know, I like a little good cardio. I like a little good weight sesh. Combining the two, misery. From there, we move on to hamstring curls. This machine has a lot of resistance to it, so I am only working with 20 pounds on the machine, but it's a lot more weight than that. It is pretty killer. Typically, I think for reference, I usually use 80 pounds when I do hamstring curls. And then for the last movement, we move over to the GHD machine. We are not doing glute ham curls. Instead, we are doing back extensions on the GHD machine. And I am using a barbell here. In case anyone else gets embarrassed of this too, look at that. You see that? You see that? We love a good sweat stain. It's a reminder that you're working hard. All right, friends, we are back from the gym, I would love if you would go check out my project, proveyourexistence.com. It is a mental health project to help get access to free resources as well as therapy to those who cannot afford it. It is a project that I have been really passionate about starting for a very long time. Currently, I am selling bracelets, and if you purchase one of these bracelets or multiple of these bracelets, it will help provide therapy to those who cannot afford it. And there are a bunch of other ways that you can help support this project, such as calling this number on the screen. The number is 929-224-4511. You can call with *67 in front of it to remain completely anonymous, but either way, you will remain completely anonymous. And the message that you leave will help impact people and make people feel less alone. It is incredibly important that in today's world, you don't know who's struggling. It could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your grandma, your grandpa, your best friend, or just a stranger that you walk by on the street. It is so important that we stick together as a community. So if you want to support, it would mean the world to me. Hello friends, we are on day 5. This is the last day of my program. I just finished running a 5K not even 30 minutes ago. So now we're here at the gym. Now day 5, I have deadlifts, I have bench press, and I have 2 back accessories. Well, 2 upper body accessories, back and tries. So what I'm going to do today, because I just ran a 5K and my legs are not only sore from yesterday, but also going to be a little bit fatigued from running, I'm going to do my deadlift tomorrow. This is usually part of day 5, but technically you're going to see me lifting 6 days. It just goes to show that you can adjust your programs as needed. If you have a coach, it's good to ask your coach, hey, can I do this on this day? There are reasons why your program is programmed the way it is. On Monday, I hit legs again, but because I did the 5K, it's going to actually be more beneficial for me to split my days up just a tiny bit so that my legs can recover a little bit more. I'm already sweaty and gross because again, I just did a 5K. I placed 4th for my age group, which is fun, I guess. It's gonna be a super quick workout. Typically I start off with deadlifts, and this workout is usually very fatiguing because of that. Oh my gosh, all right. All right, we're gonna get into it now. When I'm programming for my marathon seasons, I will typically do long runs and bench on the same days because it's just what works really well for me. I did my 4 sets of 8 at RPE 7.5 Swiss bar bench. Swiss bar bench is a great variation if you want to get your wrists into a neutral position. It's great for when you're not super close to your meet or your competition day because it just takes some of that pressure off of the shoulders and gets you into that more neutral position, which is pretty important for shoulder health. So it's a great off-season lift, and it's also just good when you're not, you know, close to competition. Anyways, we are working with, I think, 40 pounds on each side, so 125, I think, is what we're lifting, plus the weight of the bar, which is probably around 55 pounds. I don't know the weight of the Swiss bar, but that's what we're doing here. I like to film also from the back whenever I suspect that my form isn't 100% the way I want it to be. The shoulder that is injured is the left side, so you can see that I'm having a harder time bringing in my elbows closer to my body, which is the goal here. The benefit of filming your lifts is not only to post it to the internet for all the cool people who like to watch you, but it's also nice because you get to have form checks on the spot and see what's going on with your lifts. We have 2 accessory movements, and the first one is the seated wide grip rows. And I like to do wide grip rows close to competition day as well because I try to train with a wider grip on my bench, and you want to have your back and lats nice and tight. So I try to pull and do these rows with the same grip that I'm going to bench with on competition day and train my back to be strong in that position, because you do want a strong back. Strong athletes have a strong back, so don't hit your back. And then the second movement I do for accessories on this day is skull crushers. This is just to get in that tricep work. I didn't have a ton of tricep volume last prep, and I also didn't have a bunch of chest volume last prep, but I have very similar volume with the triceps this prep, so I really don't do too much tricep work. My triceps tend to be pretty strong. I'm doing 2 dumbbells instead of a barbell. You can work with dumbbells here, you can work with a barbell. The barbell will create a little bit more stability, but working with 2 dumbbells, while it does create some instability, it allows you to see which side is weaker. So that's why I'm doing it. This is day 5, technically day 6. We're just here for deadlifts. I already finished warming up, so we're gonna hit this for 4 reps. We have 5 and 4. The last set is going to be an AMRAP. I got beat up yesterday in a mosh pit. For deadlifts, we are doing 5 sets of 4. Just the same as we did for the other 2 comp lifts. We're doing an AMRAP on that last set. We are working with 80% here though. So for my squat and my bench, I'm working with 90%. My deadlifts are not progressing as quickly as I was hoping. And that's something I've commented on a few months back, that since my knee injury, my deadlifts have actually become a lot weaker, and I feel more knee pain on deadlift days than I do on squat days. So we're working with 264 pounds here for 4 reps. On the AMRAP, I ended up getting 5 reps though. I really want my deadlifts to get stronger, and they will. It's just going to take more time, and that's one of the cool things about powerlifting, is that it humbles you very quickly. You think you're strong one day, then you're weak the next. And I was feeling very, very weak on this day, but also every deadlift day since I filmed this, I have felt pretty dang weak, which there's only been 2 other deadlift days since then, but they've all been very weak. I struggle like hell on deadlift days, but it is what it is. We fight through it, and we got to do what we got to do. We're going to get stronger. We don't have any other choice. That is it for today's video though. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in next week's video, or whenever the heck I upload. I was on a schedule, and I'm kind of got off on the past couple of weeks, honestly, because my depression and my anxiety have been just over the top. And it's been rough. I got therapy in about 30 minutes, so that's pretty exciting. Speaking of therapy, if you guys are interested in mental health, or maybe you need financial assistance with therapy, I have my project Prove Your Existence. Go check out the website proveyourexistence.com. There are quite a few ways that you can contribute and or get help. So I'm definitely looking for people to collaborate with who are passionate about mental health. And if you want to support the cause, help support people get access to therapy, you can go to the shop and buy a bracelet. I'm also going to get some paintings up, and we're going to get some merch up, which the merch is the thing I'm very, very excited about. But until then, you can buy some paintings. They have some secret hidden positive messages on them for whoever buys them. And there's also the bracelets, but paintings are created by me. And I appreciate everyone who supports. I appreciate everyone who takes the time right now to go check out the website and share it with your friends. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys so much. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you later. Thank you so much for supporting me and my projects and my channel.